Hi everyone, welcome to my new channel and website swingforce.co.uk. In this introductory video I'll be looking at two swings of myself. The swing on the left was 7 years ago before I had any concept of biomechanics, and the swing on the right is only a few months old, which is more spine and pelvis driven with a lot more rotation, which is the key to power. The swing is a little exaggerated as I find it the best way to make corrections. Not everyone's swing can be perfect, but as long as you're making enough of the correct movements, you will see a huge improvement in your game. I've had countless lessons in the past, but my swings never changed until I worked on biomechanics. Since then, I've developed a real understanding of how to teach these concepts to anyone. I've been able to hit the ball a lot further and straighter too, with a more stable release, as you can see here. The grip changes are always a big mistake. The key is to understand how to control the club face and drive the hands through with a low rate of closure. Okay, so if we just go to the backswing on both of these, starting here on the left, we can see that the front hip has dropped. This is called right pelvic tilt for a left-hander. The excessive bending of this front leg out towards the ball can cause the hip to drop. This is a classic stack and tilt reverse pivot looking backswing, where all the weight has gone onto the front leg and your body is going to make the opposite muscular movements in the downswing. This means the hips will be in left pelvic tilt in the downswing, where the front hip is higher and it's incredibly difficult to rotate from there. On the right here you can see that my hips are much more level in the backswing. There's not a lot of knee flex in this front leg, but as I said, this is an exaggerated swing. This front knee can bend in towards the trail knee, but the key is to keep the hips level whilst you're doing this. Okay, so at the start of the downswing here on the left, we're going to see that my hips are stuck in dual internal rotation. From this position, all I can do is slide further left ahead of the ball. You can see that the left hip is starting to rise up as we continue down here. We'll see that on the left side of this line, the hip's just going to rise up there, just above that line. So right around here, you know, the front hip's there and the back hip's there. So you can see that the front hip is rising up. I'm in left pelvic tilt and I'm struggling to rotate from that position. If we look on the right here, in transition, we're going to see a very different result. The first thing here is APT, anterior pelvic tilt, where the belt buckle looks like it's facing down towards the ball. I'm also in dual abduction, which is this squat-like looking move, and the right hip will move into external rotation early, and this front leg is starting to pull back. You can see more of the right pelvic tilt, which is what you want to have, or left pelvic tilt for a right-hander in the downswing, where the trail hip is being raised up, which really allows you to rotate. As you can see, there's very little intent to weight shift on this swing, but the pelvic tilt allows you to get onto your front leg while still being able to rotate. In transition here as well, on the right, we're going to see that this trail elbow is much lower than the lead arm. This is a strong elbow move and external rotation of the trail shoulder. This elbow is going to be allowed to get in front of this hip by doing so, which really allows you to drive the arms through the swing, generate a lot of power, and have a really stable release coming into the ball. Whereas on the left here, you'll be able to see that my arms and hands very much stay to the side of my body throughout the swing. I don't quite flip it. This is called an underflip release, where I've pretty much held on for dear life by the looks of it because of the sliding. And as you see, when I've come through, the hands have rolled over. You'll see here the club face is completely closed, and the elbow is going to be facing this way, away from the target early on, whereas on the right here, the elbow's still driving at the target. The hands are still, top hands still very much on top, club face square to the target. Great extension there. And we'll just see again here on the left just how far ahead of the ball I am. If we go to impact on both of these swings, you know, the tailbone is, you know, way back here on this one, and on the swing on the left here, you know, the tailbone's right around here. It's actually ahead of the ball. So as we go through onto the left here, into the follow through again, we're going to see this excessive arching of the spine. This is where a lot of back problems are caused for golfers. The sliding does not protect your back, and it is not good for you. So hopefully you guys can see the swing changes. And like I said earlier, not everyone's swing is perfect, but as long as you're making enough of the correct movements, you will see a huge improvement in your game. Stay tuned, I will be posting more videos about the golf swing. Please check out my website, www.swingforce.co.uk.